Invite a Budget Blinds style consultant to show you how to transform your rooms just by changing your window coverings. Canada's #1 choice for window coverings. Visit budgetblinds.ca today.
This is Newcap News with Bart Pediasic.
Good evening. We begin tonight with a scary situation near Unity, where a man was sent to hospital early Sunday morning after a collision on a train track. A CN train traveling west collided with a semi-truck around 3 a.m. Now, there were no spills from the rail cars, though rail traffic was shut down until the train and tracks were fixed. The cause of the crash is still under investigation. Well, property owners in a border city won't be paying as much in taxes as they originally expected. At today's meeting, councillors made a final decision on the mill rate for 2015. City Council reporter Jeremy Thompson has more.
Councillors spent a large part of the meeting discussing proposed tax increases for 2015. The proposed 1.25% mill rate increase was defeated. Councillor Larry Sauer saying in years past, the city has asked taxpayers to, quote, ante up, and he just could not support another big tax increase.
I felt the 1.25% mill rate, which doesn't seem like very much, was something that we didn't have to do this particular year.
Well, I think it's an opportune time when things are a little bit slower to procure more contractors bidding on your projects. And so there is some opportunity to move forward with some of the bigger ticket items in order to advance them more quickly at a more reasonable price than we would have last year.
Council then elected to hold the line and use last year's mill rates, a motion put forward by Councillor Chris McQuid.
What we have going on in our local region right now, we obviously know there's a downturn and people are losing their jobs, and we have a new provincial government. We're not sure what's going to happen with that yet. There's just a lot of uncertainty, so I just felt that it was a little more responsible to maintain the mill rate from last year.
Director of Finance Nicole Reiniger says she still needs to crunch the numbers to come up with the new tax increase. We'll be following the story as it develops later in the week. Reporting from City Hall, Jeremy Thompson, Newcap News.
Well, it's no secret that distracting driving is an issue across Canada, and for good reason. According to a recent report by Alberta Transport, distracted drivers are 3 times more likely to get in a crash than attentive ones. That's just one of the issues that the Lloydminster RCMP are focusing on as they concentrate on educating young and new drivers in a new month-long initiative. Now, earlier today, we sat down with Constable Grant Kersinger of the Lloydminster RCMP as he explains the conditions that all new Alberta and Saskatchewan drivers are placed under when they get their licenses.
There's several new laws and new restrictions for them. There's several different things that they are required to do. As a learner driver, you're always required to have somebody who has a full license, a Class 5, without any GDL restrictions on it. You're required to have that person with you at all times. There's fines associated if you don't have that person. As far as a GDL driver themselves, there's restrictions as far as the amount of passengers that you can have with you. You need to ensure that there's seatbelts for all of them. There is zero alcohol tolerance for new drivers. So many people might think, well, they're young, so they're not allowed to be consuming alcohol anyways. However, there are lots of drivers that are new drivers who are of legal age to consume alcohol. So that is why the government has put those in place. There's also restrictions around distracted driving. There are different demerits that are associated to individuals on graduated licenses.
And I know with May, since this is kind of what you guys are focusing on this month, why is it important to kind of instill this stuff to young drivers?
In life, it's a good idea to always practice things from an early stage. It's really important to look at how you want to conduct yourself and how to behave when you drive. So learning these things young and preparing yourself for a lifetime of good driving behaviors and skills is very important. It's always important to behave in a professional manner, something that you're always aware of, and it's something you need to wear your tie for. You always need to be on your best game. You always have to be looking your best and prepared to deal with any situation that could come your way.
And finally, for any young driver that's watching this and thinks distracting driving isn't such a big deal, I can multitask, I can do multiple things behind the wheel, what do you have to say to them?
That's not true. You can't focus on multiple things at a time. Your attention should be solely on the road. We understand that you're going to have friends and you're going to have people in your car that you're going to want to visit with. You're going to have text messages coming in. You're going to want to change the song on the radio. best case and best practices that we want new drivers and young drivers to take would be to limit the amount of distractions that you have. You know, if you're a parent and you're concerned about your child's driving and you want them to be set up for success, we want you to limit those distractions. You know, set them up to succeed. Don't have a whole bunch of people in their car. Don't be sending them messages saying, hey, you need to go and pick up your family member or you need to stop by the grocery store. Make your plan ahead of time before they leave so that they know where they're going and they can focus on one thing.